Alrighty, I had butchered my tripod stand to hold my phone up. And this is, I guess, a little teardown project. This is, the unit here is a HP, I forgot the model number, it's been a while since I even touched the damn laptop. It's a Windows 10 computer, but it has multiple issues and it's not worth simply fixing. So I guess I'm here to tear it down. Lower my chair a bit. There we go. So yeah, the unit has a bad LCD on it where it gets aligned unless you put pressure here. It's extremely slow. Makes a hissing noise here. CD-ROM drives works, but I haven't used it in forever. And otherwise, I had to put screws in it when I got it, and it took me forever to even test this thing back then because I got a power supply for it. But nonetheless, it's pretty much junk in its condition, so I'm going to wind up taking it apart. It's a little teardown project. I feel like I should be doing this on a Tuesday, it's like a teardown Tuesday, but hey, it's a cool little piece. I think I want out of here mainly the CD-ROM parts, because DC motors and all that stuff, those are always helpful on cassette deck rebuilds, especially when you can never find motors, and obviously CD rebuilds. The loading, no, it doesn't run off a loading belt. What else will I need off of it? Maybe the laser reader. I think the heatsink is a biggie. If the processor is a non-soldered on type, I'll take that. And maybe speakers. Otherwise, there really isn't much on this unit. As you can see, these silver screws I applied back a few years ago when I owned this thing because it was missing those screws. The battery on it is bad, just from sitting, or semi-bad. It kind of holds a charge, but as you can see, it's like this little 2D battery. So it's pretty worn out. It's nothing fancy either. It's just some average HP. Since I have a Dell, the Inspiron B130 set, and that ThinkPad. Granted, they're way older than this thing, Windows XP and Windows 95. But, you know, it's still better than this. And so there isn't too much I want to get off of this thing. There's nothing much of value. If I'd be lucky if that processor is a non-soldered on type. But it's probably a soldered on because it's so razor thin and cheap. I don't even know if this thing has an HDD in it. It's probably got some motherboard integrated drive. Which, probably what it's got. Maybe probably no RAM slot option because, well, there's no panels. Usually they would have a pop-off panel. Doesn't have no CMOS battery because if it did, it would probably be junk, and it's not telling me about that. It probably just runs it off the main battery. But yeah, it's pretty much garbage. There's nothing really anything good on it. I think that's all these screws. These should all be undone. Come on out. Should be all of them. In retrospect, I should have ejected the CD-ROM first, but I really don't care that much. Snap-on shell, there's no flat head. That's great, I don't care about this shit. Bingo. It should be ready for free right there. Oh, lovely. It always play as many snap-ons as they can. Break that. Break that. Break that. Oh. No, that's not the CD-ROM. Okay, we're good. That's where all those hissing noises are coming from, so I'm not too worried. Come on, pop apart. Rakeford Papa. This is ridiculous. Who assembles these things? jeez. Got the dust coming out of this thing. I guess if that. Oh, jeez, this thing is filthy. Oh, it's corroded too. Oh, I gotta show you this once I get it split from its shell. Oh, dude, how in the hell is this thing still holding together? Oh, sweet, it does have HDD on it. If that hard drive's still good, I might pull it. Because HDD gets ridiculous. How in the world are you still in one piece? How in the world are you still holding together? Ha ha! I should have known. You know, they usually put an arrow near it, but nah. Surprised it has a hard disk drive in. I gotta show you how filthy it is. I wonder why it's been running so slow since I got it. You'll see in a sec, it looks like it's been corroded out, too. Really? There we are. Check this out. This is corroded Titanic. Like, look at that garbage. It is filthy. Surprisingly, though, as you can see, the motherboard is quite intact. Oh, it does have a CMOS. Ooh, Samsung RAM. 4 GB. This is actually a better built unit than I expected, but it's still not well built in any way. It's poorly designed still. Now that the CD-ROM drive just fell right out when I pulled it apart. Look at that quality. This is cheap. It's got a rattle to it. My favorite. Alrighty, I don't know what's been making that hissing sound since I got it. It might have been the HDD. But I guess continue tearing it down. We got a junk, corroded to death bottom half. This would explain every problem this unit had. Junk. Alright, let's get to stripping. I guess this heatsink is beyond cheap. Just a little thin tube. I do want the RAM out of you, though, for sure. I'm surprised it only has one chip in it. Guess I'm not too surprised. Filthy. Has hair coming out of it. 4 GB, which is way too much for my units. This, I think I need this one. This will work in my IBM computer because it needs one of these bigger CMOS batteries, and it keeps moaning and groaning about how it doesn't have its memory. Internet chip. See what we're looking at here? I have one of these off an old Chromebook. Nothing fancy, but I guess in acceptable condition. It looks like Feature Byte. What the heck are you talking about? This thing has got a fat keyboard on it. The only advantage this unit had was it's got a wide screen on it. But since it was shot, I don't see any reason for its advantage. No, it's just ugly, filthy. The design of these is just... Okay, there we go. I've never seen a design like this before. Two snap pins. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at how crunchy that is. That is where every part of this thing's speed is gone, is into dust. Guess that's still something. Because this HDD is worn. Not in the worst shape, though. Let's pluck that out. I'm surprised it has a hard disk type in it. I thought it was going to be something cheaply built into the motherboard. Actually, how far in are we? How much time do I got left? 9 minutes in, we got 21 minutes left. That's a good sign, actually, because, well, I don't have all the space on my 32 GB phone. Look at that, it doesn't even have a screw right here. Fancy. That probably goes for the top half. Let's see. I think that'll just... How in the world? There we go. Okay. Something just shedded out of it again. We are looking at an HGST, whatever brand that is, with a peeling, filthy sticker. Covered in dust and inwards on the motherboard too, so this is junk. June 16th, product of China, not a big surprise. What are we looking at space-wise on you? 1 terabyte. Wow, that's actually a lot better than I thought this unit would have, because this is a tiny drive. I mean, you usually don't make a terabyte drive in that size. I guess that's something cool. Might be able to reuse it. This is already loose before I even started pulling it apart. Look at that, they even label the cables. How fancy of them. Because, you know, somebody's got to put all the work into this computer. Filthy USB board. Yeah, definitely filthy. As you can see the dust right entering that SD slot. That's like the thinnest SD slot I've ever even seen. You know, it's kind of ridiculous, but you gotta realize that this is what today's technology is it's really not that great. There's nothing fancy about it. It's all cheap. There we go, more corroded dust everywhere. Yes. Oh, look at that, I got dents here. It's complimentary. Oh yeah, look at the crud that's not gotten there. This thing is garbage. Don't worry, the speakers aren't held in by much of anything. Just a rubber, dusty rubber housing, of course. Yeah, there's no screws that hold these in whatsoever. Let's get this out. No, it's not going to lift up. It's supposed to pull out. There we go. Computer speakers. Yay. Could always use some of those. Well, the funny thing is that those are probably the cheapest speakers ever, and yet they're still going to cost a small fortune because that's what speakers today are worth. I've searched it up. It was cheaper just to reuse some Sony CFS 1000 speakers that I had off my very first boombox that never wound up working because at the time I didn't have any skill. It's like, what, first point of 80s collecting I got that thing, and it was a scam. Besides, it had a bad motor, so not like I was going to find a motor for it with ease. At least not without spending a bunch of money. I wouldn't find it new, that's for sure. It's still a nice looking boombox, though. I always wanted to get another one, but that's not going to happen for a long time. We got that JVC PC30, though. That's something like it. I'm going to bet you that this processor is soldered down on the board with the amount of thin space here. Meaning it's just going to be a slow... That would be why it's so slow, is because it's like a cheaper version. You can't even swap the processor out when it starts to get old. It's got a Kate code, whatever the heck that is. I don't know if... Yeah, it just says Kate code. Cool. 2016 made in... I don't even know what, because there's a barcode over it. Wow, that is the cheapest processor and heatsink I have ever seen. Look at this. This is probably the longest looking processor I've ever seen. That's garbage. That is the cheapest. I've seen some cheap crap before, like the Chromebook processors looking nicer than this razor thin turd. This will just lift right out. Come on. You, I don't want in here. Not like it'll... Let me take it out. Yes, is what I should do. Knowing. Well, it's plastic. I was like, is that where... No, all these chips are caked in dust. Probably where all my LCD issues have been coming from. The hell kind of jack is built like this? Oh, this is a more unique one than what you usually see. Oh. How many connectors do you need? They're all different kinds, too. Don't worry. Come on, there we go. Flip her over. Filthy. This is garbage. I've never seen half these plates before in my life. There is, like, nothing of value on this. Yeah, this is garbage. Headphone jack's broken, I know for sure, because I owned it for a long time. Oh well, I guess it's better than nothing. I don't know, I think nothing is somehow better. This probably screen related. I need it out of my way. There we go. Oh, this worked. I mean, the cooling fan I might be able to reuse. It's nothing terrible, but it's filthy garbage. Yeah, that is filthy garbage. Yeah, look at that. Yummy. That, like, cat hair, dog hair. Let me see how much time we got left on camera. 16 out of 21 minutes. Okay, then, I guess. What holds this down? Nothing, probably. I think the keyboard is only held in by a couple screws, and then this should hopefully come out, but I might have to break a handful of pins and junk, because, you know, nothing is that easy in 2024. I mean, it's not as badly built as I thought, but it's still pretty much also worse than I thought it was built. It's better and worse in a couple hundred different ways. Of course they did that. No, yeah, of course. I'll just have to break every one of those gussets eventually. But that I won't have you guys stay around for, because that's just going to take too long, and my phone ain't got a hole for that. There we go. We got a keyboard. We got a bad LCD screen if anybody wants one, I guess. No, I'm just going to smash this probably. I might pull it apart to get the camera lens out of, but I mean, there's really nothing good about this thing. It's junk. I think I'm just going to pull these little jacks, this little jack and stuff out, and I'll pull apart the CD-ROM drive after I upload this video, so that's going to be like a separate video thing of me just finishing the job here. Alright, that'll conclude this part of the video, and I'll give you guys a part 2 in a little bit. Bye. Okay then. Yeah. No, it's gonna be slow as fuck.